Hello, Eurovision fans. Thank you so much for coming to my channel, Eurovision Histories. We have now seen the TV feed clips of the participants of semifinal 2, and I really want to talk about them. And like with semifinal 1, I have thought of a new concept, which is a tier list, where I will tell you whether the rehearsal and the performance have exceeded my expectations, met my expectations, or whether they were actually worse or much worse than I expected before the rehearsals started. So let's get right to it. I will talk about each of the performances, let you know what I think, and then put them into this tier list. First of all, we have Denmark. I do think that they have a very effective staging with the turning platform, and he's in different rooms of a house, you could think. They have different color schemes in each of the rooms of the house. He's also going to the middle platform of the stage, which I think is good, and he can interact with the crowd a bit. They chose a part of the clip where the vocoder is not as noticeable. I think it's actually not on, and he sounds pretty okay. I mean, I was never expecting an amazing vocal performance from him, but he does sound okay. He looks good. Not sure about the outfit 100%, but overall, I have to say that Denmark has surprised me, and it is much better than I thought it would be. Now, Armenia. I had very high expectations for this, so and this is what this video is about. I really love this song. I love the rap part. I love the Armenian lyrics in the end. I love her performance and her singing. And when we talk about her singing, her performance is amazing. She looks amazing. However, the staging I'm a bit disappointed by because she's on this inclining platform, and there are projections on the platform, but also on her face and all over her. And I think that takes away a bit of the effectiveness of this performance. If it was an LED, you know, platform and the projections were under her, I think it would look much better than having it on her face as well. So, yeah, I'm not 100% sure. She does sound great and performs well, and she is really a professional. But overall, I was expecting something more impactful from Armenia, so I'm putting it in the worse category, worse than expected. However, I am kind of hoping that when the rap part kicks in, something will happen with the platform and with the projections. So maybe once we see the full performance, it will actually look much better. Then Romania, he doesn't have a cent to invest into this performance. He changed his suit, and for that, I wanted to say he is doing a great job. The focus is on him, which is good. I think it looks much, much better than in the national final, which was extremely messy and over sexual. So in this case, he is actually profiting, I think, from not having a big budget. Still, he sounds great too. His voice sounds great, but the song is what it is. So I don't think this will qualify. But when we talk about the performance and the rehearsal as such, it is actually, again, much better than I expected it to be, because I thought it would be a bit messy like in the national final, actually. Belgium. This looks like so much fun. He is having the time of his life on that stage, all of his backing singers and the dancer as well. So this is full of fun and joy and just living life. The outfit is much, much better than anything I've seen him in since he was chosen in the Belgian national final. So I do think that this is now a kind of almost certain qualifier, and I have to say this is much better than I expected, because I kind of expected him to have an out there outfit that I wouldn't like, but the one he has chosen is actually nice, and adding the dancer is helping the song also a lot. And it just has this almost gospel-like feeling and lively feeling, so it's really, I think, a great rehearsal and a good staging for Belgium. Cyprus, you will have to tell me in the comments whether I'm completely off, but in parts it seems like he isn't singing it all. It almost seems like he's lip syncing. I do think we can hear his voice, but the backing track vocal, or maybe it's a backing singer, is almost louder than him, which I think is a weird choice. The staging as such looks good. His outfit is good. He looks good, as we knew he would. But especially when the long and high notes come in, and in the clip at the very end he stops singing it, And that is a weird moment in the song and kind of makes it seem like he's not singing it himself, even though he does. So, yeah, it is better than I thought because I thought it would vocally be very ropey, and the staging is good, but otherwise, I think if this gets to the final, the juries will really not favor this because of the singing mix, I think. Let me know in the comments if I'm completely wrong, which I could be. Then Estonia, no problems with the vocals here. She is amazing, on point every single time. How she has a bit of a choreography now. I don't like the outfit 100%. It looks quite old-fashioned to me, but overall, this is kind of as expected. In the clip, you don't see the piano, so I'm not sure whether they got rid of it or whether it's just not part of this part of the performance that they chose to show us. But yeah, overall, I do think it is a good performance. I think it is very early on. It's a ballad and it doesn't have a wow moment, so I think it might struggle to qualify actually. Iceland, I really like her and the song. The vocals sound great. I'm not sure about the choice of outfit and lighting. They are trying to create kind of a disco feel, I guess, and the lights are reflected on her suit, but it makes it look a bit like paper, Svala paper, and that didn't qualify. And it kind of feels like this might not qualify. However, this semifinal is really not a good semifinal, so she might qualify. But this is actually worse than I thought. I prefer the national final performance, actually. Greece. You know, if you've seen my top 37 video, that I love this song and it has grown on me a lot. I like his voice, but I mean, you have to remember the delegations choose the 30 best seconds of their 3 run-throughs of rehearsals, and Greece chose this part, which sounds terrible. I'm sorry, but it does. He's off key. It's more screaming than singing. He is really convulsing and jumping maybe way too much, and that is why he isn't singing it that well. I think it might be better not to move as much and just concentrate on his voice, which is impressive in many versions that we've heard the song in, but here it was really not good. The outfit doesn't help either. There was way too much smoke, which I think was probably a mistake, and they can work on that, but vocally it has to improve a lot. Otherwise, I can see this not qualifying. So I'm putting this in much worse than expected. Poland is the one where I thought the vocals would be horrific. However, they have kind of managed to find a mix, I guess, where it does sound quite okay, or quite good actually. It looks good. The dress she has on, the orange colors, the background with the summer feel, it all looks quite good. Then she has a dress reveal moment, very Eurovision-y, and then she has a dance break where I don't quite understand why they have these fuzzy images of her dance, but I guess that is their choice. Maybe the dancing is not that impressive. She doesn't have any emotion in her face. I find that kind of impressive almost, how you can sing a song like this and not have any happy or sad or whatever expression in your face. I don't know why that is. It's kind of like, yeah, baby, give me nothing, no drama, no nothing. I don't know. I do think that this has a chance to qualify now, mainly because many of the other performances in the semifinal and songs are not that great. But this is actually much better than I expected, because I expected a complete car crash, and they kind of managed to find something for this performance that actually works, more or less. Slovenia, after all of these performances, especially after Poland, Iceland, what else does, and Cyprus, this seems like such a breath of fresh air and so professional, so charismatic, so good, just good. I'm not 100% convinced of the song personally, but when you see this performance in this lineup, I do think that Slovenia is qualifying definitely. It might actually win the semifinal because it stands out as something really above the rest, until now at least. So this is better than expected. It is kind of what the national TV performance looked like, so I can't put it in much better, but it is better than I expected. And it has a bigger impact in this lineup especially. Then Georgia, I love the LED panels, these two giant panels behind her. It makes it look really dramatic. She sings it really, really well. The outfit is good. Everything is about the song would be good. I think it's a bit too intense. And the lyrics are just ridiculous. I am still waiting for them to come out and say that this is the first Eurovision song created by AI, or the lyrics are written by AI as a PR stunt or something, because I don't know how someone could come up with lyrics like that who isn't a machine. Okay, so where do I put this? I kind of expected them to do well and to have an impactful and dramatic staging, and we knew that she knew how to sing, so I'm putting it in as expected. San Marino, they have a great style actually. All the outfits look really, really good. The lighting on the stage looks good. They chose a clip where he's basically only screaming the whole way through, but he screams quite well. The voice is good. He looks a bit scared. He could work on that and look more into the camera, for example. But overall, this is better than I expected, and it is, of course, much better than the national final performance. I don't think this will qualify, but it is much, much better than I thought it would be. Austria, this was the big one that I was waiting for. I expected a lot. Secretly, I kind of hoped that they would have a very impactful and great staging, because secretly I kind of want them to win. However, I was also incredibly anxious because Austria doesn't have the best track record when it comes to stagings, to say the least. They came up with a very slick, modern-looking performance in red and black and white with backing dancers. They showed a 0.003, which I think is smart. People might Google what is 0.003, and then they will find out and understand the message of the song during the final. So it is much better than I feared it could be, but it is not as good as I expected, because I kind of feel like the fun part in the performance is now missing. It's all a bit like a pop performance. You don't really get the quirkiness of the music video, and I'm a bit sad about that. But overall, it's kind of as expected. They didn't do much worse or much better than I expected Austria to do. Albania is a whole other story, because the national final performance was just awkward. The family members didn't know where to look. They had different clothes on. The fact that they have a consistent outfit, all of them, helps. They have a choreography. They know what to do at what time, which is great. The focus seems to be a lot on Albina, which is also very smart, because she's just the professional in this whole thing. So I think they found a really good balance of telling people this is her family and having this moment of, oh, how nice, she brought her family, but also having the professionalism and the slick choreography that this needed. So actually Albania also did much, much better than I expected them to do. The outfits are good. Not sure about the other camera angles, whether we see the family more, which might make it a bit less impactful, but I do think that this is doing quite well. This is borderline qualifier now, I think, because it's also the only ethnic song in this whole semi-final, kind of. Lithuania, you know I love her, you know I love this performance. It looks stunning. The outfit she has chosen now, last time she had like a Dancing with the Stars kind of dress, now it's shorter and looks better than the last one, but I still prefer the national final outfit, so I hope she opts for that for the semi-final. But overall, amazing vocals, pitch perfect vocals, and it is in a good space in the running order, so I do think this will qualify quite easily, and it is as expected, I guess, because it's more or less like the national final performance, which I already loved a lot. Now, Australia, they have this car on stage, they have interesting outfits. It all looks a bit gimmicky and not too serious to me, which could work really, really well with the televote, and I'm kind of certain that they will do really, really well. But to me personally, it just looks a bit too gimmicky and a bit too like they're not taking it seriously in a way. I don't know whether that's intentional or not. So I'm putting Australia in worse. Well, no, actually, because they have great energy on stage. So I'm putting it in as expected, because I kind of expected them to have a okay staging, but that the energy of the band would really get them to where they are, which is, I think, one of the favorites to do really, really well in this semifinal. These are my thoughts on semifinal 2. Let me know in the comments what you think. I will do videos like this throughout Eurovision week, so please subscribe if you want to see them, and then I'll see you for my next video. Bye bye.